Put your hands together for the fantabulous, the amazing, the awesome Lisa Kerr! In the red corner, the undefeated champion, standing tall, supremely confident, ready to get out there and knock 'em all out. And in the blue corner, the contender, shoulders stooped, a bit anxious, feeling a bit sick. Doesn't sound like it's going to be much of a fair fight, does it? Would you pay to see that entertainment? But I'm not talking about a boxing match. Friends, welcome guests, any unwelcome guests, I'd like to introduce you to the inside of my mind. I'm autistic and ADHD, neurodivergent, two conditions that overlap in many ways and are complete opposites in many others. Both come with stigma, stereotypes, misunderstanding. By sharing my experience with you, I hope you'll all come to understand me a little more. But it's only my experience, because we're all different. I can't speak for all autistics, all ADHDers. And if you've met one neurodivergent person, don't assume that you know what we're all like. Thank you. So let me tell you a little bit more about these. Autism, connected with the left side of the brain. Rational, logical, controlling. Often depicted as the black and white side of the brain. Thanks, Hella, for coming dressed as the left side of my brain this evening. I couldn't have planned that one better, thank you. Things have to be fair. Rules have to be followed. Change is a scary thing. I must be in control. Recently at a networking event, someone introduced me as, "This is Lisa. She's very talented." Sounds good. But when I asked what he meant by talented, he said, "You're creative and knowledgeable, but you don't show any emotion." And that's another common misconception, that autistics have no empathy. But for me, you couldn't be further from the truth. There are different kinds of empathy. Emotional empathy, feeling your emotions, taking them on as if they're my own, wanting to make you feel better. I've got buckets full of this empathy. Cognitive empathy, recognizing and understanding what you're experiencing, that's a different thing entirely. Autistics can struggle to recognize people's emotions. Eye contact can be tricky for some of us. So we tend to look at the periphery of your face, not your eyes and mouth, which is where emotions show. So while I feel all of the emotions very deeply, rational, pragmatic me wants to fix the problem. And what comes out of my mouth in the moment might feel blunt and uncaring. And what about if ADHD brain decides to get involved too? Because I've already thought of 75 different ways that I can help you, and I need to do one of them right now, so I'm going to give you a big hug. Oh, I'm still wearing the boxing gloves. That was more of a right hook. I got it wrong again. The fight goes on. Jennifer O'Toole, in the book Autism in Heels, which I love, says, "What's it like to be us? Too much. What do you do when the trouble isn't one thing that you do, but it's everything that you are?" So much of the internal experience of autism is invisible to outsiders. No one else can see the struggle. And that's one of the reasons why I wear the sunflower lanyard. So I'm wearing this evening my sunflower lanyard. Woo! Thank you. Something to keep my loops on the end of, which are good for sensory processing as well. But does everyone know what a sunflower lanyard means?
Yeah.
So quite a few yeses, given the audience, not surprising, but equally still some no's. So this is a Hidden Disabilities sunflower lanyard, part of the Hidden Disabilities scheme. And it's a way for people with less visible disabilities to tell you that they might be struggling, that they might need a little bit of extra support without shouting it from the rooftops. But I am shouting it from the rooftops because I want everyone to know what the sunflower lanyard means. So please, when you're out and about, look out for them, understand what they mean, and recognise that people might need that little bit of extra help. Thank you. So back to Jennifer O'Toole. She said, "I pull the rug right out from under myself when everybody is looking. Just trust that I didn't mean to make anyone fall. My version of normal does not look the same as most people's." And that really resonates with me. My deepest belief has always been that I am not good enough. My black and white view of the world defined the way I ought to be. I spent my life trying to fit in, trying to be normal, act the right way, say the right thing. I'm too much. I overcompensate. I'm too intense in relationships, both work and personal. I need to feel needed. I do too much. And this results in me pushing people away because I care too much. The fight goes on. ADHD is associated with the right side of the brain, the creative side, often depicted as a colourful rainbow. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a complete misnomer. Attention deficit. It's not a deficit of attention. It's a deficit of the ability to regulate attention. So something has all of my attention. I was a due diligence director. Attention to detail was critical. Spreadsheets get so much of my attention. Excel, love it. I forget to drink water. I forget to eat. I even forget to blink. Or my attention is all over the place. What was I saying? The fight goes on. And when you say hyperactive, people just have visions of a small boy who can't sit still. In the classroom, all over the place, hyperactive. But that's not me either. I barely move. I'm like a sloth. It's my mind that's hyperactive. Endless curiosity. A love of learning. Autism, because I have to know exactly how everything works to feel in control. ADHD, because each new thing becomes a hyperfocus, something new to learn, a whole rainbow of new possibilities, and I want to do all of them right now. Well, maybe not right now, because autistic brain needs to do a full risk assessment of everything that can go wrong first. The fight goes on. I used to think that everyone's brain worked the same way as mine does, that everyone experiences the world the way I do, because there's no benchmark for what's going on in your head. But now I know that that's not true. I was diagnosed ADHD and autistic in my 40s. And after the grief cycle that so many of us go through, I'm now learning to live with my neurodivergence. Learning how to manage the challenges and how to love the strengths. Einstein famously said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid." So what's the genius within that I can call on? I'm creative and methodical. I see patterns and spot anomalies. I'm fiercely loyal and resilient. I'm great in a crisis, a problem solver, and pragmatic. I have awesome attention to detail and endless curiosity. I've even been told I can be funny at times. Who knew? And Harvey Bloom, an American journalist and advocate of neurodiversity, says, "Neurodiversity may be every bit as crucial for the human race as biodiversity is for life in general. Who knows what form of wiring will be best at any given moment." Yeah. So I've decided to call time on the fight, to take off those boxing gloves and appreciate my autistic ADHD brain for what it is. Let the two sides learn to work together. Take the rainbow and just straighten it a little. Take the black, just a little. Take the black and white. Create shades of grey. Yeah. 50, maybe. Too much? I've decided to stop worrying so much about what people think of me. Stop judging me and start doing things that I can be proud of, things I believe in. Start believing in me. So, while my autistic brain still struggles with the fact a boxing ring is square, in the red corner, I've started professional speaking about neurodiversity so that I can help other people to understand, accept, and value neurodivergence. In the blue corner, I've trained as an ADHD coach. Shameless plug for ADHD Brain Coach, business cards are on the tables. In the yellow corner, I've started to write poetry and I've started a Substack. And in the green corner, I've joined a samba drumming club. Because ADHD brain is never going to be happy with just red and blue. I'm always going to create a rainbow. Thank you.